My mind is loud. I wish it were quieter. I think about so much all the time. I'm not sure when or who the first person I fell in love with was. I'm sure it was technically my mom, but that's because she was technically my whole world at the time. Life could not be if I didn't have her. Maybe that's why we all want someone to fall in love with. We're seeking one of the first feelings we ever experienced. Seeing someone and genuinely knowing the world won't end, and life would go on. I don't know. It's difficult to place anything after that. I have this habit, see, of loving every person I meet. My memories are but a collage of every person I've ever loved, meaning it's full of siblings and nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles and friends, but also that one lady who checked me out at the thrift store 3 months ago, or the quiet guy who gave me a pencil when I couldn't find mine in 11th grade. Sifting through it all, though, I think I found the first time I actually fell in love. I'll call him John. John became one of my best friends in the 6th grade. It was the classic enemies to lovers trope. Like every healthy friendship, we had our ups and downs, but we lasted. However, in the summer between 8th and ninth grade, I began to realize something was wrong. I was talking to him every single night for hours. He knew everything about me, and I him. I wasn't supposed to fall in love with him, but these things you cannot control. I don't know how I got him to confess, but ultimately that summer, I kissed him for the first time. However, we lived in small, deep red Texas town, and both of our dads were conservative politicians running for the local seats, so this became our little secret. Over the next year and a half, I fell deeper and harder, but I was so happy. Then, the spring of our 10th grade year arrived, and as the grass became green, so did the text I sent him. I'd flown too close to the sun, and now it was time to suffer for the fall. He wouldn't even look at me in school. 2 days later, he unblocked me to tell me to move lunch tables, stop trying to talk to him, rebuked me in the name of Jesus, and told me to burn in hell like the demon I was. It was only because I loved him. When the summer started, I found out he'd moved to a different city. I told no one what had happened out of shame. A month ago, he told me he still loved me. I know we were young, but trusting is hard when I can still remember how suffocating it was to fall alone, and how broken I was when I hit the ground. Anyways, happy Valentine's Day. Maybe next time. The world is so loud. Not even the earth is free from the raging noise of man. Is there ever silence? Last week, I was officially diagnosed with ADHD at the ripe age of 20. Yeah, I was already pretty sure I had it, and anyone who knew me thought the same, but with a proper diagnosis, they prescribed to me an interesting little drug called Adderall. I thought to myself, maybe this will give my mind reprieve. Maybe here I can find the silence. In the day since taking it, my mental state has been on quite the roller coaster. One of the primary anomalies I've encountered is one in which I feel so much and yet feel nothing at all. I'd liken it to eating homemade comfort food with aluminum foil wrapped around your tongue. It seemed as if everything is now processed solely based on logic, rather than switching between logical and emotional. I also feel as if I'm prone to switching between personalities now. Not completely separate people, but just states of heightened focus on certain questions that lead to certain emotions. It feels somewhat bipolar in nature just because of how deeply it affects my mood. My thoughts come out stronger now, more articulated. I don't forget things as easily, and classes are already feeling better. My brain has organized itself. However, I think as it cleaned up, it threw some of me away without asking. Parts of me that I loved. I don't like that it did that. However, the price of emotion has been greatly nullified, so although I don't like what it did, I feel indifferent to the matter. That's scary. In all that it's made me feel, Adderall didn't give me silence. Whilst my brain used to be a cacophony of whispered ideas and internal monologue, every thought now feels like a screaming soloist. The only thing present, and therefore demands my focus. I can finally focus better, but I've become less man, more machine. I don't like how it makes me feel. But when I'm acting, I find myself again. The pieces that vanished return. I become a me that finds the balance. It has made me realize that it is passion that makes us human. Without it, we are carbon-based computers, living solely as a means to an end until our warranty expires. Even once tranquil places have fallen to the onslaught of noise. Nothing sacred. Most of mankind has come to fear the sound of silence. If there were peace, I believe many would have to face just how loudly their souls scream in pain as fear and hate consume their heart. According to scientists, humans are the only fully conscious beings on Earth. There's a theory that the only reason we haven't all gone extinct is because when we developed this state of consciousness, we convinced ourselves there was something greater. Existential dread is an all-consuming blaze if you can't find something to believe in to stop the life-ending wildfire. So, from there, in the cradle of life, we created God. As we spread across the globe, the story of what this being was adapted and grew like a tall tale to fit the people who carried the story. Now, as I look around the world, God is multiple people with different names and different views. Every person has a different idea of what God is or isn't. It's beautiful. There was a time I didn't believe in God. Growing up, I was taught to believe in the man in the sky who loves everybody. My parents did a good job teaching me that other religions existed, but only to an educational extent. I was force-fed this God's unconditional love until I began choking on it when I was told time and time again that there were hidden conditions. Every Sunday, it felt as if my heart was unknowingly dissected by smiles and cheek pinches for its sickening, unnatural love. If they knew the endless bounds of my love, hearts once full of love would fill with well wishes for my approaching trip down to the fallen angel. I can still remember watching the light go out in my mom's eyes when I told her. I can still feel how wet my shoulder was from her tears. With time, I realized that if there was a God, Christians certainly don't have it all right. Nobody would. With personal experience and introspection, I came to know the Creator on my own terms. I know I don't have everything right, but that's okay. If there is an omnipotent being, they gave us this earth, and one thing I know is that everything here is constantly growing and changing if it wants to survive. Therefore, I too leave room for my thoughts and ideas to change and grow as the plants and animals do. Ultimately, nobody is perfect, but while we are here, I will live by the law of love. Therein lies our humanity. Therein lies our beauty. Therein lies the divine. It's still noisy, but I can live with it better now. Take the time to sit in silence sometimes. If it's scary, that means you should find out why. Then talk about the things that come to mind. Vulnerability isn't a curse. It's human. Thank you all so much for reaching the end of the third Tom to Bomb Talks video. Hope you enjoyed this interesting little introspective piece about love, Adderall, and God. Please make sure to like, comment down below to let me know what I should do in the next video, and then subscribe so you always know when another banger video has dropped. Y'all have an absolutely great day. Bye!